crafty friend, it's me, Justine Dvorak, and here we are for the second stash challenge video. So I am going to go ahead and use this really cool, new to me stencil, and my stash is going to be the pattern paper here. I'm also using this adorable beaver from the Lumberjack stamp set from Pajama Crafter Stamps. And then this stencil is called Woodland Animal Tracks Stencil. The stamp set is really fun and I just love this little beaver. So I'm going to go ahead and use my stash, which is my pattern paper, and the stencil. So I haven't used this stencil yet, so this is the new item for me, for my little stash challenge requirements. Something new, something old. And I'm going to use, what is it called? Lumar Paste. Lumar Paste Tropical Tango is the color I'm going to use. I decided to use this color because it is a really fun teal, and teal is green and blue together, so I figured it would look good on my green paper. And it looks like I didn't put the lid on last time, which it's fine. Everything's fine. It's not dry. We're all good. Now I'm going to use this little scrapey tool that my husband actually gave me. I think he got a lot of them when he was doing drywall and he had extras, but it is very similar to the tool that Simon uses with his Lumar Paste. But if I were to do this again, I would not use the bumpy area, as you can see on that yellow part, as my scrapey area, because it was a little difficult to clean, but it's fine. It worked out well. So I'm just gonna scrape it on, and my stamp wheel is keeping my stencil in place so I don't have to worry about things moving around. And the stencil is very, very detailed. If you see on the right side of the edge of my card, there are these bigger footprints or animal tracks, and those have not only toes, but then these little claws. So once this is dry in the video, I will show you all of the detail that this Lumar Paste got into the stencil, and it really made the stencil shine. So I'm really thrilled that the stencil has so much detail. Super cool. Another fun stencil from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I love the full moon stencil, and then now this one is very cool. I'm not really paying attention to the center of this because I do have that area cut out, but I just want to make sure I get in all of the nooks and crannies, and then put all the extras back in my little jar here. And then we're going to peel and reveal. This is so satisfying. I adore that. Whoops. Get it together, girl. There we go. Now, Lumar Paste does dry kind of fast, kind of slow. It kind of depends on your expectations, but look at the dimension that gave that stencil. Very cool. So we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to get my sentiment all ready to go here. I'm going to use the sentiment, "Would you be mine?" because this little beaver looks like he is looking sweetly up and asking a question. So I like this sentiment, "Would you be mine?" And I love that it's spelled W-O-O-D, as in wood. So I do have a little stack of wood next to my beaver, but we're actually not going to put that on the front of the card. You'll see where it goes in just a minute. But that stack of wood, I'm just going to point out, is so thoughtfully designed, and I'm very, very thoroughly impressed. It can be like, there's not a top and a bottom, so you can use the stamp set 3 different ways by just rotating it. It's so cool, and I think that it is a genius design. Alright, I have another piece of pattern paper here. This is just from my stash. I just glued it onto my background, and then we're going to put this green spot that I used the stencil on right over it. But before I do that, I'm going to turn it into a shaker card. So I'm going to shop my stash again and get some little sequins or something fun to put inside this. Now, I had this package of sequins that I'm actually going to use now for a long time. So I will go ahead and make my shaker window now. If you've never made a shaker card, you totally should. That will be part of this challenge for you, is to use the lumberjack stamp set or use the stencil and make a shaker. Now I'm going to use these circles because I got these recently from the Pajama Crafter Advent video, and it actually fits this circle very well. I don't know why I said actually so many times there, but my Lumar Paste is completely dry. I did let that dry. It's not going to take 5 minutes like this video is showing, but it took some time to dry. And I will just put that shaker window down with some liquid glue. Then I will add foam all over the back. And I'm going to double up my foam. So that means the foam is 2 layers of foam thick. And that really gives my shaker window lots of room to move around the cabin, if you will. I will just spoon out a good amount of the shaker bits. These are so sparkly and fun, and I think it'll be perfect for a little lovey-dovey Valentine's-y kind of card. Then I'll adhere the foam and really push down around that shaker bit area just so nothing gets stuck in there. This time I did not use my anti-static tool because I was apparently so excited about making the shaker card. But not to worry, I've had this card around my craft room now for a couple days and it doesn't seem like anything's gotten stuck, so no problems there. I'm just going to trim the edges. I think that was maybe just me not realizing that this circle that I cut out in the beginning was almost A2 sized already, but I do like a little skinny of the brown border there. By the way, I don't think I mentioned at the beginning, but the die I used to cut out the circle is from Trinity Stamps. It's one that lives in my craft room because I love the size of that, and it's perfect for putting these little stamps on. Now I'm going to pop my sentiment up with some foam, and I also popped the Beaver up just because I love the dimension. And oh, did I mention I colored this Beaver and the wood with some colored pencils. I used the ones from Altenew. I've been trying to get lots of texture on the Beaver fur, so I figured that the colored pencils would be a good way to go. There's that lovely little wood pile, and just wait, there's more. I have a bonus card for you in this video. Surprise! But I will give you just one last look at all of the fun dimension. And look at those toes. I mean, it really got all of the claws. I'm very impressed, and my shaker window turned out to be super cute. So this lumberjack is really adorable. I wanted to shop my stash again and use some pattern paper that I had. That's for my background, and then I'm simply just going to put my lumberjack and my wood pile on the front. And again, popping it up with foam. This stamp set has some fun sentiments in there, and I'm going to use the birthday one in the center for this little lumberjack and then finish off my card. I don't always do things in the center of the card. I don't even know if I got that part on camera, but I did use one of the sentiments inside the card. And again, I colored this lumberjack with colored pencils. So I'll show you some pretty pictures at the end of everything so you can get a better look at him, but it was a joy to color and I love the design. So if you use the lumberjack stamp set or the animal tracks stencil, please share your makes on the 2 Facebook groups. You can share it to the Stationery Maker group on Facebook and also the Pajama Crafter Stamps and Friends Facebook group. I would love to see your makes, and so would everyone else. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye, crafty friend.